Alright, so we're at our jumping off point. We're getting ready to head up into the canyons. So there's my kit to get me through the night. So as you can see, we're kind of in ponderosa pine forest. My wingman Chris eating the last of his civilized food before we embark up into the hills and freeze our balls off for the night.
I'm a sailor in pain, and I lost my leg. Climbing up the top sails, I lost my leg.
Chris is trying out a new wool blanket today. So we built our fire up against kind of a big rock, and then we built our shelter back behind it. We have the front edge of the shelter is the lowest edge, so that the heat comes back up, and then we have kind of a convection effect. Like the ponderosa pines are a long ways apart and there's not a lot of down trees. A forest fire came through here not too long ago and cleared out most of the underbrush. So our two challenges tonight are going to be firewood, and our shelter's a little weak, but we'll probably tune it up during the night. We made it through the night. It actually wasn't super cold. Here's our shelter. We did the typical kind of our 4-post shelter design with a fire pit. I'll do another video here in just a second and show you guys that, but I mainly just wanted to show you what the terrain looks like around here. So we're in kind of high desert ponderosa pine forests. It's pretty open. We've got a few like spruce trees. Sorry, after about 2 hours of sleep last night, I'm a little bit dingy. But I don't think it ever actually dropped below freezing. There's no frost or anything this morning. You can see our shelter back there. My wingman Chris waking up, getting ready for the morning. We've actually already had a nice little breakfast. Had some coffee, some Starbucks Via, because I never go anywhere without Starbucks Via. So look at our shelter. So this is a design, a cold weather design when there might be a lot of rain and snow. So see how the roof slopes forwards towards the fire pit? And we sleep uphill from where the fire's at. Here we found this nice rock, and we built our fire up against the rock, and it reflects the heat right back up into our shelter. So as long as we sleep uphill from the fire, and the front of the shelter roof is lower than the back of the shelter roof, it creates kind of a convection and keeps heat flowing up into the shelter all night. Another thing that you'll notice is we don't do the typical rocks around the front of the fire or anything like that to contain it, because that actually gets in the way of reflecting the heat up into the shelter. The main shelter design is we use a roof that's supported. We use our tarps for, each of us have a tarp in our packs, and we use those to make the actual top part of the roof that absolutely has to be waterproof. That also deals with snow too. I've slept in this shelter and this shelter design with several inches of snow on the roof, and you want to kind of clear the snow off. It's a little hard to see in the video, but the roof actually drops down to this corner right here is the lowest corner in the shelter. And so what that does is any moisture runs off that lowest corner. You can also use that to catch water in, but there's a pretty good pitch forward. Again, it's kind of hard to tell from the video, but what we typically do is use evergreen boughs. I'll use for the sides of the shelter, and then I'll generally use a tarp for the front and the back. You can see the front of the top portion of the roof is a pretty durable, waterproof, fire resistant canvas nylon tarp, and then this back tarp is a really lightweight sill nylon tarp that still seems to be pretty durable.